If it looks like I just came out of the shower, it's because I did. Hey guys, what's up? It is Megan, and today I'm going to be reviewing City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. I did read this book during the Christmas Booktubeathon and loved it, as you probably heard in my wrap-up, but I never ended up reviewing it. So I thought before this new readathon I'm doing, I should probably review this before I start with Lost Souls so I don't get everything jumbled up together. This is the fourth book in the series. If you haven't read this yet, you probably know what the series is about. Go and get them. Go and read them. Please, 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 please go out and get them. They're my favorite books, and this is my favorite one so far. Seriously, I finished this book, I put it down, and I stared off into space for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I was so hesitant to pick up Lost Souls because I was like, but I love this book so much. Will this book be upset if I pick another book? But as you know, I am reading it for the bookshelf-a-thon, so I thought, gotta do a review. If you haven't read this book, then you need to go away now. Sorry, love you, but go read these right now. Right now. You best have read the book. So, when I was reading this book, I was taking notes on note cards and being productive because I knew I was gonna do a book review on it, so notes. I wrote these down in order, so this is not going to be as scatterbrained as some other reviews of mine have been in the past. This is going to be good. It's a good time. Good time. Did you guys think that that was going to happen with Kyle? That he's actually Jordan, the boy that turned Maya? I did not expect that at all. I love Simon and Jace's developing relationship throughout this book. Like when Simon walked into Jordan or Kyle and Jace playing video games on the couch and he was just like, you guys buddied up real quickly. Something that Simon and Jace talked about. So, I don't know, Simon was saying something weird, and Jace is like, I'm always so glad I have no idea what you're vacantly chatting about. It fills me with a sense of peace and well-being. Jace and Simon are my favorite. I love them so much. Clary figured out that they were trying to make more Jonathans, basically, or Sebastians. I'm not sure what to call him. Like when Isabel and Alec and all those people were going into that building and they saw all the dead babies everywhere and Maya threw up. That was so sad. I felt so bad. That was, oh gosh, I could not imagine walking in on that. If I walked in on that, I don't know what I would do. I would probably be Maya and throw up everywhere. It kills me sometimes how much Jace loves to torture himself. It is the worst ever. Like, he distanced himself from Clary to punish himself, and it's also punishing Clary. It's not fair to either party. That is one thing I cannot stand about Jace. I love Jace as a character and he's just the best person ever, but I hate how he loves to punish himself over things that he can't control, and it's so annoying. Like at the very end when he was on the rooftop and he kept walking away from Clary, I was like, no, she's up there for a reason. She loves you. She obviously loves you. She's not afraid of you. You need to stop. You're punishing her too by distancing yourself. And he's so dense sometimes and so stubborn. It's really annoying, but it's a good thing that Clary's just as stubborn, if not more stubborn, because she's like, no, no. So that kind of makes me angry about Jace. Other than that, Jace is a beautiful person. Throughout the book, I kind of like had a feeling that Simon was going to turn into kind of like a bad vampire. I don't know why. I thought he was like gonna completely transform into a bad boy kind of thing and just like blow off all his friends and be like, yeah, I'm gonna smoke cigarettes and party hard all the time and I'm too cool for you guys. Luckily that didn't happen, although it was kind of scary when he fed on Maureen. The more he resisted it, the more it was a danger to everyone, and I don't think he should have resisted it completely. I understand that you don't want to feed on a person. If I turned into a vampire, I wouldn't want to feed on a person either, but you're a vampire. You have to do it. Frozen. I love Frozen, and I'm like making so many connections to Frozen and everything else, so I'm gonna make a connection with Frozen in this book. Like when Elsa locked herself up for so long and tried to not use her powers and conceal them. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them show and know. It's kind of like what Simon did too, and then she kind of exploded, and so did he. I don't know how I would have handled it, but I think it could have been handled a lot better. I, throughout this book, learned to love Isabel so much more than I did in the very beginning 3 books, but there was a point in here when she was talking to Clary about her and Jace's love life, and I was like, whoa, Isabel, you just need to back up a little. Back it up, back it up. Back it up. Clary said one thing about her, Simon and Isabel's relationship, and she apologized for it, and Isabel's like, yeah, well, da, da, da. And then she went off on Clary, kind of like just rubbing it in her face. Other than that, I did grow to love Isabel. At first, I thought that Claire was walking into the trap. Remember when Simon was sent that message that if you don't come here, I'll kill your girlfriend or whatever? I totally thought they were luring in Clary for that reason, like, and that was the person that was trying to capture his girlfriend. I had no idea that it was gonna be Maureen. Like, I thought when Clary stepped into that place, the address that Simon had been talking about, I was like, oh god. Oh god. And Isabel, of course, came to save the day, so that was nice. See, starting to really love Isabel. When Maureen turned and Simon was just like, the walls are caving in! When Clary and Jace, almost, they were in the room, and then Jace was talking about like the runes and how they don't use rings, they use runes, and then the set me as a seal thing, and then Clary's like, take off your shirt, and Jace is like, excuse me? Okay, not complaining. And that was so scary when he took out the knife. I was like, no, Jace, no, Jace, no, you can do it, be strong. It's kind of almost not obvious, but you're like, oh god, Jace is gonna do something really stupid, isn't he? When we figure out that he's having these horrible dreams and what's happening to him. And when he goes to the city, I knew going to the city was going to be a terrible idea. Nothing good ever happens in the city. It just doesn't. And when they were talking about Will, I was like, what happened to Will and him Will? Funny thing is, I haven't even read that series, but I've heard so many great things about it, and I've heard Will is the most adorable thing ever. And I was like, Will. When Jace was having that dream where he saw Max, I thought it was like Sebastian kind of possessing Jace. I thought he was the one that was going to possess Jace. I had no idea about Lilith. I went through a surplus amount of people of who it could be that is possessing Jace. I was like, okay, is it Camille? She escaped. What's going to happen there? Is it Sebastian from the dead? I'm so confused because they were hinting that Sebastian could be alive, and I was like, I bet he's alive. Okay, there's no way that he's dead. They need to make 3 more books, or I guess 2 more books after this. There's no way that Sebastian could be dead. We found out it was Lilith. I was just like, Lilith? That is so random. I did not see that coming, like the greater demon. Who would have thought of that? I never thought of that. I thought it was funny when Mangus was like, does this mean every time I mention anyone I've ever met, you're gonna ask me if I had an affair with them? Maybe. Like, of course, Mangus is however many years old he is, and he's going to have met other people in his life, cared about other people in his life, loved other people in his life. Like, you don't go through your entire life and just... And if it's that long and not find people that you care about, I mean, you can, but that's just a lonely life. If I were Alec, I would understand, I think. It would like kind of be in the back of my mind, but I don't think I would have reacted so stubborn and just childish about it. When Clary saw Jace outside of the reception hall, wherever they were, she just kind of ran over to him, and he was acting pretty weird. I cannot believe that she didn't notice that he was acting really strange. And it's not like Jace to just automatically go, bind yourself to me with these runes, and then she's like, okay. You're like 17. I'm 17. I'm not ready to be bound to someone by runes for the rest of my entire life. That's extreme. And then I wrote here, why does Simon always have to die? So annoying. Like, he has to become a vampire and he has to do this, and every book he somehow needs to die or does die. It's so frustrating. Can't Simon just stay out of trouble for once? You have the mark of freaking Cain. How are you still in trouble? I don't understand. It was really cool when Simon, he was like, I never realized how fast a vampire could really go. And when him and Jace had like this moment, this connection, they looked at each other and had like a full-on conversation, and just a single glance, and Simon ran over to Clary to block Lilith's swipe, and she went down and she just bursts, and it was so cool to read. That was like, I was just imagining that happening in like slow motion from Simon's perspective, and I just dropped the book, but it's like, that's how I went. I'm so weird. How did I know that when all this was over, Jace was gonna remember everything and be like, oh god, I'm the worst person ever. I'm gonna go sulk up here for the rest of my life. I don't deserve Clary. And it's like, come on, Jace! You do this all the time! When Clary convinced him to move closer to her so she could get the knife and slice him, I was so worried that like she was gonna like cut too deep or something and just be like, dead Jace on the ground. But she sliced the rune and got him back, and it was just like, Jace, you have to kill her or you have to kill me. And then it just cuts and he grabs the knife, and we're just like, Alec and Isabel's perspective! Clary had to go downstairs. I was like, don't leave Jace. Are you stupid? He's with Sebastian. I don't care if he's dead. You need to stay with him. This is so dumb. Clary, don't you dare go downstairs. And then she went downstairs and was like, Jace is gone. It's over. when Sebastian was compelling him to finish the ritual, I felt so bad. I was like, Chase, no, don't do it. Chase, no, fight it for Clary. But, you know, he couldn't. And in the last sentences, we're now one, little brother, you and I. We are one. So I wrote down my first reaction after I closed the book. I wrote this down. Okay, so, holy crap, what just happened? No. Dear God, this book was so good. Jace, what, how, where? Cassandra, why? And then, in like parentheses, I said, I almost don't want to pick up Lost Souls. It just doesn't seem fair to Fallen Angels. I loved it so much. And so, those were like the first things I jotted down after I finished that book. This book. Thank you guys for watching my review of City of Fallen Angels, whether you've already read the book and you have for a year now, or if you are just finishing this book, or if you're spoiling yourself. Which, why are you spoiling yourself? This is such a good book. This is such a good book. You need to read it for yourself. Don't spoil yourself no more. Go pick up the series and read, and then pick up this bad boy right here, City of Lost Souls. So next time I see you, I will have an update on my readathon. And as I finish these books, I'm going to do reviews, like Pull and Banana books. After she finishes a book, she automatically does a review, and I think that's a good idea because you are more fresh when you just come out of a book and you're just like reflecting. You're like, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. I'm gonna stop blabbing on and go. So bye guys.